Greetings. In this video we are going to look at study number 7 on page 25 of the Christopher Parkening Classical Guitar Method, Volume 1. In this video lesson I will be providing advice for beginning guitarists and then moving on to advice for intermediate to advanced guitarists. I would encourage you to first of all look at how the piece is structured. The first note of every measure is different, but the rest of the notes remain the same, excluding the very last measure. So we have, just looking at the first note of each measure, E, A, D, A, D, A, E, E. Something that can be very helpful is just to practice that by itself if you're getting confused on where to keep your thumb and having difficulty just learning where your thumb is in the midst of all this. So go ahead and practice that. The other part that we need to look at is the rest of the measure, this figure that repeats throughout the piece, G, B, E, B, G. And I would encourage you to simply practice that over and over again. And what I would also do is try to do it on beat. Oftentimes beginning guitarists will add little pauses in this piece, but it's going to be a very even 3 pulse. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. With a bass note in there, it's going to have a note at every 8th beat. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and so on. If you're having difficulty with accuracy, just like in the last video, I encourage you to take the back of your right hand and keep it stationary and let your fingers do the work. Rather than picking with your hand, you're picking with your fingers in this situation. Let's go ahead and play through this together. I'm going to play it at this pulse. Ready, set, go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Off. For intermediate to advanced guitarists, this is a great situation in which to practice different meters. If we overemphasize playing it in 3, it's going to sound like this. And we get these accents on the 2 and the 3 that make that B stand out. If we were to emphasize groupings of 3 and play it as though we're in 6/8, we get this little 2 emphases per measure. If we were to play it in 1, then we get yet another flow to the piece of music. And as you look, especially at a lot of classical era pieces, these different ways of emphasizing the piece will bring different types of musical situations to life. So we want to learn to watch for when there's some interesting movement going on with the inner voices or some interesting pattern that we want to be intentional to emphasize. And doing this exercise will help you to notice that and be ready to do it without even having to think about it when your fingers are already trained to be able to emphasize the different pulses throughout the piece. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope this is helpful.